Christina, thank you. And Peter Pan and Wendy is soaring to Disney Plus with another live-action remake. But will you and your family be hooked, or will it never land? Here to tell us his thoughts is film critic Patrick Beatty. Welcome. So before we talk about this big film, we want to talk about another one that's big in theaters right now. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
Right. If you've read Judy Blume novels, this is one of the biggest ones, and they did such a fantastic job of adapting this to film. It stars Rachel McAdams. This is a character who's going through basically puberty at a younger age. What is it like when you first have your period? What is it like being with a ton of girls that are all maturing at different rates, and like the popularity for one versus the other and why that happens? The comedy is so good in this. The writing is so good. It might be one of my favorite. It's definitely in my top 5 of the year, but it's crossing over to be one of the best of the year.
Interesting. This is a coming-of-age movie, and does it do the books justice?
In my opinion, I think it does a great job with the adaptation, and it does a little bit more than you would think. And now, more than ever, we need films that support women, that show educating is a good thing, talking about what happens when you grow and what that means. It's so important.
Amen. Thank you, Patrick. So I take it it's a see it.
It's a see it.
Okay, what about Peter Pan and Wendy? It is a classic, and it's remade.
Well, this one's also a see it for me, but I will say the first half, if you're looking for something new, doesn't really start dipping into new stuff until the second half of the movie. So if you're not really interested in another Peter Pan movie, this might not be the best for you. But if you're curious of what Disney is doing with this adaptation, I think they do a lot more with exploring Hook's character with Peter, how they actually hate each other, maybe a little bit more backstory that we've never seen with James Hook, and it's fascinating. I love David Lowery, the director. His cinematography is beautiful, and this is definitely, for me, a skip it if you don't want to see any of the Peter Pan remakes, but see it if you want to see something new.
Well, I imagine, though, a lot of people have Disney Plus, and families will be gathered around the TV tonight because it's kind of a classic, and the cinematography, as you mentioned, brilliant.
It'll be so easy to put some kids in front of that just to watch.
It's definitely a see it in my family, I think. Okay, now we're talking about Polite Society.
Right, so I saw this at Sundance. So this is a really fun film that has action, kind of like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, where it's just out there, maybe a little bit anime inspired. The main characters are so heartfelt. It's a film about sisterhood. It's about growing up with your siblings, maybe them going different routes, and you still wanting to have that deep connection. Definitely a see it. I would say go as soon as you can if it's out in your theater. It's
Bollywood and coming of age as well, and it is just beautiful culture too.
And humorous.
And humor. So that is definitely a see it. All right, one last classic.
Well, there could be one more film that's out. Oh my goodness, I didn't throw it up right. Lightsabers. We could do Star Wars Return of the Jedi is out in theaters again. It's going to be out all week, and that's the movie I'm going to literally after work. Cannot wait to see this on the big screen.
Return of the Jedi, 40 years later, back in film. So if you watch this as a kid, you're bringing your children, maybe your grandchildren to this to see it on the big screen.
And I grew up only with the VHS, so it was very difficult for me not getting to see this in the theater. So this is childhood coming back, rewarding. So you're going to be in the theaters watching it with your lightsaber? With the lightsaber, if they'll let me in with it, yeah. Yeah, right. Okay, so where do we find all of your critiques? Well, next week, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, so follow me on all of my social for that, because I will be hosting the screening on Wednesday at Megaplex Jordan Commons, and there might be some karaoke. I don't know. There might be singing involved. Okay, why not? But that's a film to watch for next weekend. Okay, where can we see you on social media and all of your reviews? At Patrick Beatty Reviews and on abc4.com/dailydish. And we'll put it on our website. Thank you, Patrick. Thanks again, and we will be right back with more Daily Dish. Don't go anywhere.